Sports injuries are very common among professional athletes and even more common for young kids who are active in sports. So what if your mini athlete has an injury or maybe even interested in preventing one? Where do you turn? Phoenix Children's has a Center for Pediatric, Orthopedic, and Sports Medicine to assist you. And joining us this morning is Dr. Jeffrey Vaughn. He's an orthopedic surgeon for sports medicine there. Welcome to Sonoran Living.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I love sports medicine, by the way. I did it in high school in physical therapy.
Nice.
I love it. So let's talk about what are some of the most common injuries you guys are seeing these days?
You know, with youth, as they're getting to play, I mean, we'll see things that I think can be typical in youth and adults, whereas like a meniscus tear, an ACL tear. Other common things are patellar instability when your kneecap dislocates or a shoulder dislocation.
Ooh, okay.
So those are kind of severe things, and some of those things lead to surgery. So at the same time, we see sprains, strains, we see fractures, sometimes just a minor buccal fracture, sometimes something more severe.
Okay, all right. So, and for young athletes who have, big aspirations, that can be a game changer for them,
Sure.
Moving forward. So
Yeah.
what's interesting about what you do there is that you do a lot of assessment work when these young athletes come in, helping them to better know when to get back out on the field. So kind of explain to me how that works and what you do exactly.
So one of the things that we have at Phoenix Children's, which I think is unique for the Southwest, is we have a performance lab where athletes come in, and usually it's typically after they're far along in their healing process.
Okay.
They'll come in and we'll assess them. We use physical therapists, we use engineers to use the special tools to assess them. So we use things like a biodex machine, which can assess their strength. For example, we could check their quad strength, their hamstring strength, and then we use their well leg to compare that against. What we're trying to do is figure out, are they ready to get back to sports?
Right, because they're anxious, right? And so you just want to kind of hold them off until their body's ready, right? Their mind and their heart might be, but the body is really important.
And what's interesting about that is that years ago, we didn't really have that technology. So what we would do is base it purely on time and maybe an assessment, of course, in the clinic, but not to this level. And so at this point, we can say, okay, yeah, you've met the time where we think that ligament or that meniscus or whatever is healed.
Yeah.
Now we can assess you and say you're ready as far as you've rehabbed enough. You can get back to sports. And so when we're releasing them to sports, we're more comfortable, their parents are more comfortable, and the athlete at the same time can be more confident in themselves that they're ready to go back.
Yeah, it's like based on science now,
For
right?
sure.
And numbers don't lie.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Any tips or advice that you can give a lot of parents watching right now? Hey, any way to, what can they do to help their child prevent these types of injuries?
That's a great question, because when we test kids, you think, well, hey, these deficiencies are from surgery, but at the same time, it makes you wonder what kind of deficiencies were present before the injury that could have potentially led to the injury. And now I don't know that we need to run every person through that sports performance assessment, which I think would be nice to an extent, but at the same time, I think making sure they're using proper mechanics. And there's coaches that can do that for them, or maybe their own coach or a specialty coach that can, for example, with pitching, are they using the right mechanics for that? And then also we see a lot is overuse injuries, athletes that maybe have taken a break over the summer and then they get back and they're coming in because they're like, my knee's killing me or my shoulder's killing me, because they haven't participated. And so keeping up, preparing for sports, making sure they're strong, make sure their balance is good, and again, using those proper mechanics. That
is really good information, Dr. Vaughn. Thank you so much, and congratulations. It's a very unique center and one of a kind, so we appreciate you coming on to tell us about it. I want to give our viewers some more information. Phoenix Children's, they have their Thomas campus. It's at 1919 East Thomas Road in Phoenix. You can call 602-933-1000 or visit the website givetopch.org.